Hey everyone, today we're going to be installing All-Pro's 05 to current Tacoma Overland Roof Rack. Let's get started. The first step to install your roof rack will be to remove either the factory roof rails or, in our case today, removing the two pieces of black trim on either side of the roof. In order to remove the black trim, all you have to do is start at the front, pry up on the black trim, and then make your way back, prying up, popping out of the bottom grooves, and then there's also a little bit of adhesive at the bottom that you'll need to pull off. And once you get to the end, you can put it to the side. If you have the factory roof rails, you need to remove the bolts holding those rails to the roof. In our written instructions, we detail that process. Once you have your factory roof rails or your trim pieces removed, the next step is to cut through the little pieces of adhesive that are located at the front and rear positions on each side of your roof. If you had your factory roof rails previously installed, there will already be holes in these locations. However, if you had your trim pieces installed, you'll need to use a sharp blade and cut through each one of the little holes again in the front and the rear locations. Leave the middle location covered up by the original piece of adhesive. If you originally had factory roof rails installed on your Tacoma, you'll want to take 1/2 of a piece of the provided VHB tape, peel off just one side of the backing, and then cover your middle hole in your roof. And this is to seal that hole to prevent any water or contaminants from getting in. For added leak protection, you could also put a little bit of the provided silicone in the hole and then cover it with the VHB tape. You'll want to leave the upper portion of the backing tape on there just to avoid debris from getting stuck to the tape itself. Make sure you push down well around the edge of the tape in order to seal the hole. The next step is to lay down a moving blanket or cardboard and lay out your roof rack pieces as shown. You have 2 side rails and 4 crossbars you'll want to lay out. We initially recommend mounting your crossbars in every other mounting slot, going from the front to the back of the rack. And then use the provided 1/4" black zinc bolts and washers to attach the crossbars to the side rails. Once you get the crossbars attached to one of the side rails, repeat the same process to attach the crossbars to the other side rail. For now, just leave the mounting bolts snug so that you can move the crossbars easily. All-Pro recommends keeping your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th mounting slots open, in other words, not mounting a crossbar in them, in order to minimize any wind noise that might occur over the sunroof. However, if your Tacoma doesn't have a sunroof, feel free to mount your crossbars wherever you need to. The next step will be to mount your deflector mounting brackets to your side rails using the provided 1/4" bolts, flat washers, and lock nuts. You'll want to align the regular holes, the circular holes, up with the holes in the side rails and keep the slotted holes open for mounting the deflector. Once you have your mounting bolts tight, repeat the process on the other side. If you purchase your roof rack with a light bar deflector, the next step is to mount your light bar mounting brackets to the back side of your deflector using the provided 1/4" bolts, flat washers, and lock nuts. After that, you can place your light bar in between the mounting brackets. The next step is to install the supplied rubber trim onto the bottom edge of your front deflector. Make sure that the rubber bulb on the trim is on the same side as the bends in the deflector. If you have any excess trim, cut it so that the edge is even with the side of the deflector. The next step is to mount your deflector to the deflector mounting brackets on your side rails. Initially, you'll want to make the top bend in the deflector even with the top of the side rail on each side. Use the provided 1/4" bolts, flat washers, and lock nuts to attach the deflector to the mounting brackets. Keep the bolts just snug for right now so you can adjust it later. The next step is to apply the provided paint protection film to the top of the windshield area. If you haven't done so already, use a microfiber cloth and some mild detergent to clean the top of the windshield and the gutters on each side of the roof. Next step is to mount the UHMW mounting blocks to the roof. There are two different UHM mounting blocks, one with holes closer together and one with holes farther apart. The UHMW mounting block with the holes closer together should be used in the front, and the one with the holes farther apart should be used in the back. Using the provided sealant, apply a light coating of sealant to the bottom of the block, and then firmly push the block up against the roof. Make sure you align the holes in the block with the threaded holes in the roof. Repeat the same process for the other 3 mounting blocks. If you have your original trim pieces, or if you purchase replacement ones, the next step that you could do is to lay out the trim piece on the roof as shown, and then cut out sections where the new mounting blocks are going so that you can lay your trim piece down into the gutter that's in your roof. After you trim the trim pieces, use some of the provided 3M tape to adhere the trim piece down to the roof gutter. In our case, the customer wanted to retain his original trim pieces intact, so we're not going to cut them. The next step is to position the roof rack on top of the roof with the help of another person. When you do so, be careful not to move the mounting blocks that you already positioned on the roof. If you do, reapply the sealant between the mounting block and the roof. After you have your roof rack positioned on the roof, use the supplied M6 bolts, lock washers, and flat washers to secure the roof rack to your roof. Apply a generous amount of the provided sealant onto the threads of the bolt to seal the hole. Repeat the same process on the other side. After all the mounting bolts are snug, you can square up the rack to make sure that it's lined up with the vehicle. After that, tighten the mounting bolts. After you secure the roof rack to the roof, adjust the position of the front deflector so the bulb on the bottom side lightly touches the roof. After you've adjusted that, tighten the mounting bolts on either side of the front deflector. We hope this video was helpful during the installation of your All-Pro Tacoma roof rack. For more products and information, go to allprooffroad.com. Hey everyone, today we're going to be installing the 05 to current. The next step is to place the roof. Be sure to not knock, whatever, that was gonna get ruined anyway. If you move the original mounting blocks, damn it, nope, I don't like that either. If you knock the mounting blocks to the side and mess up the seal, damn, no, I need to keep it simple. Boom, boom. Yeah, this guy's gonna do all the